Hello there, my name is Lynn Allen. I'm a global technology evangelist for Dassault Systems, and I'm very excited about this opportunity to present at the SOLIDWORKS Innovation Day 2021, and that I get to speak to you about what the power of the 3D Experience platform means to you, our SOLIDWORKS user. And one of the first things I want to mention to you, I want to be absolutely clear to you that we are not terminating, we're not stopping our improvements of SOLIDWORKS. We are still standing behind SOLIDWORKS. We are not forcing you to move to SaaS. Of course, you can still buy your perpetual licenses. We're just making it available to you because there are a lot of people out there who want to make the move to SaaS. So it's available to you if you want that. But we believe in giving you an option. We believe in giving you a choice, and we believe that you know best for your business. But what I also want to make sure that you understand that when you hear 3D Experience platform, please know that we are simply extending the power of SOLIDWORKS. We are adding on to SOLIDWORKS. It's not SOLIDWORKS or, all right? It's SOLIDWORKS and that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's taking SOLIDWORKS and kicking it up to that next level. And I'm also want to make sure that you understand that I'm still talking about the SOLIDWORKS, once again, that you know and love, that's installed on your desktop, that's installed on your workstation. And we're just adding the power of the cloud and all that it has to offer to your SOLIDWORKS. And when I think about the cloud, I think about four great things that it offers you, the CAD user, to the product designer, to the product development cycle. It is the collaboration aspect of the cloud. It is the mobility aspect of the cloud. The data management aspect, which I think is the part where you are going to find actually the most value, and the infinite computing part. That's actually the part where I think is the most powerful, where you are no longer limited to whatever computer your manager decided that you were worthy ever could afford, or what your budget can afford, right? You can access those 75 million super servers out there, and you can tackle things, you could do things that you could never do before. Whenever you're talking about those things that are heavy computing, like analysis, like simulation, for example, finite element analysis, anything that's really complicated, anything that would really take a lot of compute power in your workstation, that's something that the cloud has no problems with. Things that would take hours can take minutes or seconds when you're dealing with the cloud. So let's talk about collaboration. We'll start off with that one. So how do you start your workday? Do you come in the morning after your coffee, of course, and do you log on to email? Because that's the way most people start their workday. Did you know that the first email was sent in 1971, which is almost 50 years ago, if you can imagine? As I like to say, email is so yesterday. And I think it's only a matter of time before it starts to be phased out. We're already starting to see that with the younger generation. And I'd like you to take a look at these statistics, all right? It's estimated that the average business person gets a little over 300 business emails a week, and that the average employee takes a look, they check their email out about 36 times an hour. That is terribly disruptive. But what's even more disruptive is this next fact that you see on here, that it takes 16 minutes after you are looking at your email to refocus on your project. That is terribly, terribly disruptive. So moving away from your project and jumping out and checking your email is going to slow down the design process, is going to slow down the product development process. It's very, very disruptive. And that's why we like to talk about the 3D Experience platform. 3D Experience platform is a much better alternative for working on your projects. It's all inclusive. Everything is one place. Here you can work on SOLIDWORKS. Here you can collaborate with other people. Here you can get notifications. Here you can see tasks that you need to work on. It's really a one-stop shop for everything that you need to be successful in product design and product development. You will also see that it's very simple for you to set up a project where you have milestones and you have tasks and you have deliverables. There is a role called project planner where you simply go in and say, hey, look, this is the project. You set up the different milestones along the way, you assign tasks, and it will help you keep track of everything for you. And at any point in time, people can come in and they can check the timeline to see what's been accomplished and where you are. So there's transparent access to it for anybody on the project development team. And the great thing about the 3DEXPERIENCE platform is it was built for product development, intentionally built for product development and design by the people who bring you SOLIDWORKS. They understand what you do. No one understands what you do like they do. It's also very easy to create dashboards with very powerful metrics. We do it all the time at Dassault Systems. And one of the things that I also love that we do is we all use the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. Every single employee uses the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. We log on in the morning, we see if we have any notifications, we see if we have any tasks that we need to do. It's a great system for helping us collaborate and be very successful in projects. And here's an example of where you could have a dashboard that showed you if you had any engineering change requests. You could grab all types of information from the internet and have it, like sales, for example, you could have it calculate where your sales are at any given time. It has the ability to bring in Excel spreadsheets, and it can keep dynamic information up to date so that anybody can take a look at metrics, where you are at any given time, at any point in the project life cycle. It's very, very powerful. You don't have to ask anybody else for the information. You can go look for yourself. So the 3DEXPERIENCE platform is also designed, as I mentioned, to work with SOLIDWORKS files right there in the platform. Things like issue management, very easy to do. It's easy to capture, to document. It's easy to track the product issues and the resolution and product, and you'll find that design challenges get solved faster as a result of the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. So just kind of a recap. There's transparent access for everybody who's a stakeholder. Anybody can take a look at where you are in a project. It's very easy for you to post your SOLIDWORKS data up there, as I mentioned. You can review your tasks without leaving SOLIDWORKS. You don't have that disruption that you have with email. You can continue working and you can check in on tasks and see where you are without having that big disruption. You get obvious task reminders. We get them all the time at Dassault Systems when we're working on projects, and they're friendly task reminders, of course. And it's just so much more efficient than email. Let's talk about mobility, right? The ability to access your data anytime, anywhere, from any device. We're very familiar with that, of course, with our phones, right? With our smartphones. We understand this. This is something that's very valuable to us. A lot of us learned this when COVID hit and we were forced to work from home. Now, how many of you had problems working with SOLIDWORKS from home? Was your design data on your computer in the office? Was it stored in the cloud? Or was it a problem for you? Now, I will be talking later about the 3DEXPERIENCE SOLIDWORKS offers. But if everybody had been on that, it would have been no problem for anybody to continue to work on SOLIDWORKS. It would have been great. You don't have to worry about checking in your license and checking it out. It knows who you are. You can log on from anywhere and access SOLIDWORKS, as long as, of course, you've installed it on your local computer. But and where's your data? It's in the cloud. You can go get to it anytime, anywhere, right? From any device, which is very, very powerful. Now I'm going to talk to just a second about a role called 3D Creator, and the product is actually called X Design. You could call it either one. We'll know what you're talking about. This is CAD on the cloud. Now I know you love your SOLIDWORKS, and we're not saying you shouldn't love your SOLIDWORKS, but if you ever decide you want a product that's completely on the cloud, this is what we're talking about. Now you could access it anytime, anywhere, on any device. It's very similar to SOLIDWORKS. There are a lot of similar functionality. Some of the tools are exactly the same, and you'll feel at home in no time. But it's there there are people out there who absolutely want CAD on the cloud, and that is what this is. Maybe you are sitting and waiting at a train station and you have an idea and you want to very quickly model it, and you have your tablet with you. Well, hey, you could log on to this on your tablet. Can't do that with SolidWorks. How about 3D Sculptor? This is a product called X-Shape, which allows you to do that, you know, the real beautiful, the industrial design, organic shapes, those complex surfaces, which are difficult to do inside of SolidWorks. Sub-D modeling with the easy push and pull. This is also completely in the cloud, so you can access it anytime, anywhere, any device, and you could actually create some amazing shapes and then take this into your SolidWorks if you wanted to. Data management. This is where I think you're going to find the biggest excitement and the biggest power for you. So we've all experienced pain in data management with SolidWorks, right? If you've been in a situation where you couldn't find a particular part, have you ever actually redrawn the part just because you couldn't find it? Or you spent more time looking for it, you could have redrawn it, right? Ever worked on a file or a part only to find out it wasn't the most recent version? That's very frustrating. And ever wondered who made some changes to an assembly or to a part and didn't know who did it or what happened in there? You want to be able to track back to see what changes were made and by who. Good data management program, you could do that. And maybe your files keep getting overwritten, or maybe people are not following naming conventions. These are all problems when you don't have a good data management system. Have you opened a file and it said it was, it was read-only, access only? These are all frustrations that we've all run into. You want to make it easy for people to access your design data, but you want to keep working in SolidWorks, right? You want to make it easy on them, but you got to keep working. Or maybe you have some really large files, some large assemblies, and you need to send this to somebody, but when you do, not everything gets sent properly, right? It's a big reach. Usually some parts end up being missing, and then you lose control, right? Once you send it off, I don't know what's going to happen. You want more control and you want it to be easier. Maybe you've wanted to invest in data management, but you couldn't afford it because the servers were too expensive, or IT was going to be too complicated and too expensive. And of course, we all want our files to be safe and secure. So data management in the cloud with the 3DEXPERIENCE platform, very, very powerful, absolutely safe and secure. It has the top credentials that you need to have trust in the fact that the data is secure. And the IT is either zero cost or very low cost, and the hardware cost, it's in the cloud. So you don't need to worry about what type of file server you don't have to worry about what type of computer you have. You will always be working on the latest revision of a file. No worries there. You can track who has made changes to a part, to an assembly very easily. And once again, when your data is in the cloud, you can access it from anywhere. You want to work from home, no problem. You want to work from the office, no problem. You want to work on the train, no problem. And there is, I think the most important part is there's a single source of truth. You will always know that you are working on the right file, and that is very valuable. Infinite computing. Now, I did tell you this was my personal favorite because I do think this is the most powerful aspect of the cloud. Simulation in the cloud is a perfect example. We do have part of our brand is a great product called SOLIDWORKS that is simulation in the cloud. Simulation is something that can take hours to do properly. But in the cloud, that is not the case, right? You want to test your products. You want to make sure that they are going to function. You want to make sure that they're quality products. You can do that easily with SOLIDWORKS. There's all different types of testing you can do with SOLIDWORKS in the cloud in a very short period of time. And I think if you knew it wasn't going to take a lot of time, you would do a lot more testing and end up with a lot better products. Some other benefits, just some other ones. We love it when a new release of SolidWorks comes out, but we don't like to install it on all the computers, right? You will find that there are more frequent updates that are very lightweight. and that you barely even notice that your software is being updated. So you'll get access to new features throughout the year instead of all at one time. So that's a great feature. And if you've ever had issues trying to figure out how many licenses you have and what release you have, what version you have, not a problem at all with the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. It's very easy to add or subtract licenses. Maybe you don't need as many licenses as you thought. Ultimately, I think you'll find that that will save you some money. And then I like to say that all the applications are under one platform. It's a one-stop shop. I don't need Dropbox and my email and Slack or Microsoft Teams or all these different platforms, all these different products. I just need one platform, the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. So let's take a look at the 3DEXPERIENCE SOLIDWORKS offers. And these are great offers. First of all, the prices are amazing. In some cases, they're basically the same prices if you just were to purchase SOLIDWORKS alone. That's one of the reasons I love this. Please note they all come with SOLIDWORKS, okay? They all come with the SOLIDWORKS that you install on your desktop. In addition to that, I want you to see that they all come with Collaborative Business Innovator and Collaborative Industry Innovator. And you're like, what is that, Lynn? You didn't talk about that at all. I did. Those are all the collaboration tools I talked about. Those are the data management tools I talked about. And that's most of the project management tools that I talked about. I just didn't label them. You don't need to know. You just need to know that you get all that great stuff, right? So you get all the power of the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. In addition to that, you'll see the first offer, you get 3D Creator. What's that? Remember, CAD in the cloud. The second one, you also get 3D Sculptor. That's that sub-D surface modeler in the cloud. And then the last one, you also get Simulation Designer. Now, I'd like to tell you that's SOLIDWORKS, but it is not. It is a simulation for your desktop. It is not simulation in the cloud, but still fabulous. So those are the three offers. Ask about them. The pricing is amazing. I know I don't like to sound salesy, but these are three great deals that allow you to go take your SOLIDWORKS to that next level, which is so, so, so important. Let's kick it up, take it where it needs to go next. So as I mentioned, the 3DEXPERIENCE platform speaks SOLIDWORKS, all right? Slack doesn't speak SOLIDWORKS. Microsoft Teams doesn't speak SOLIDWORKS. Dropbox doesn't speak SOLIDWORKS. You can't trust your data with anything except for the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. I always like to end my presentations with this phrase because everything I talked about requires some change, right? But I believe that the most dangerous phrase in the language is, we've always done it this way. What if you made some changes? What if you embraced the 3DEXPERIENCE platform and found that it was so much better? What if your everyday life was so much better? I believe it would be. So I encourage you to give it a try, and I want to thank you for your time. And I hope that maybe in the future, I will be able to visit you personally. Until then, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your conference. And once again, thank you for your time.